The entire maintenance hangar fell strangely silent the moment General Augustus Hale stepped inside. Rows of elite soldiers immediately straightened their backs. Officers hurried to hide their nervous expressions. Every rifle sparkled under the bright daylight pouring through the massive open hangar doors. Nothing escaped the legendary general's attention. He was known for spotting flaws others never noticed. But that morning, he wasn't searching for a dirty weapon, an untidy uniform, or a careless mistake. Fate had prepared something far more unforgettable. As he walked past a massive Barrett .50 caliber sniper rifle resting on a workbench, his eyes drifted toward the young woman carefully adjusting its scope. Then he suddenly stopped. His breath caught. Pinned quietly above her left pocket was a tiny silver badge engraved with one unbelievable number, 3,200 meters. For a long moment, the entire room forgot how to breathe. Before we continue this unforgettable story, please take a second to like this video, leave a comment, share it with someone who believes in kindness and second chances, and subscribe to the channel Journey of Kindness. Every small act of support helps us bring more emotional stories that remind us humanity is still alive. Private First Class Mara Ellison never expected anyone to notice her. She preferred it that way. At only 24 years old, she spent most of her days inside the weapons maintenance facility rather than on glamorous assignments. While other soldiers trained in formation outside beneath the warm summer sun, she carefully cleaned rifles, recalibrated optics, and repaired damaged equipment with almost artistic precision. To most people, she looked like another quiet technician who happened to wear camouflage. Few knew the truth. Years earlier, Mara had grown up on a lonely ranch surrounded by endless open fields and towering mountains. Her father had never been a soldier. He had been a wildlife conservation officer whose greatest lesson was patience. Instead of teaching her how to hunt, he taught her how to observe. They would spend hours lying quietly on rocky hillsides, watching distant eagles glide through the sky without disturbing a single creature. He often reminded her that true accuracy came from understanding the wind, respecting distance, and remaining calm when everyone else panicked. Those peaceful childhood lessons slowly transformed into remarkable marksmanship. When tragedy struck and her father lost his life during a rescue mission in a mountain wildfire, Mara's world collapsed. The ranch was sold. Her mother struggled to survive. Feeling lost, Mara enlisted in the military, carrying nothing except her father's compass and his belief that discipline could overcome pain. Basic training was brutal. Many recruits underestimated the quiet young woman who rarely spoke. Some laughed whenever she volunteered for advanced shooting exercises. Others assumed her calm personality meant weakness. She never argued. She simply worked harder each day. Then came qualification week. Targets appeared farther than most soldiers had ever imagined possible. Strong winds whipped across the training valley. Experienced marksmen missed repeatedly. Yet Mara remained perfectly still, adjusting only tiny fractions before squeezing the trigger. Every instructor watched in disbelief as shot after shot landed almost perfectly. Her extraordinary talent earned her admission into one of the military's most demanding long-range sniper development programs. The training nearly broke her. Months passed without comfort. Endless calculations. Sleepless nights. Heavy equipment marches beneath the blazing daytime sun. Precision breathing exercises. Weather analysis. Mathematics. Ballistics. Psychological. Endurance. Some candidates quit. Others suffered injuries. Mara endured everything. One exercise changed her forever. The instructors challenged every remaining sniper candidate to attempt a nearly impossible long-distance target located across an enormous desert valley. Even experienced professionals believed the distance exceeded practical human capability. Wind shifted unpredictably. Heat distorted vision. Tiny mistakes became massive failures. Many attempted. Everyone missed. When Mara finally settled behind her Barrett .50 rifle, complete silence filled the observation post. She waited. 1 minute. 5 minutes. 10. She ignored pressure, expectations, and doubt. She watched only the wind. Finally, she fired. Several endless seconds passed before a distant metallic sound echoed across the valley. The impossible target had been struck. The measured distance stunned every instructor. 3,200 meters. A record that very few people even believed was achievable under those conditions. The military quietly issued her a special qualification badge recognizing the extraordinary achievement. It was never intended for publicity. Instead, it served as silent acknowledgement from professionals who understood exactly how extraordinary the accomplishment truly was. Yet fame never followed. During an overseas deployment months later, Mara made a heartbreaking decision that changed her career forever. Her sniper team received orders during a tense operation involving armed insurgents hiding near a crowded village school. Through her scope, Mara identified the primary threat. She also noticed something others had missed. A frightened child had wandered dangerously close to the engagement area. The command expected immediate action. Instead of firing, Mara reported the child's location and delayed the shot. Those precious seconds allowed another evacuation team to rescue several innocent civilians before the operation continued safely. The mission succeeded. Every civilian survived. But official reports criticized her hesitation. Some commanders believed she had disobeyed expectations. Without complaint, Mara accepted reassignment away from operational sniper teams. She never defended herself. She simply continued serving wherever the military needed her. Now she repaired rifles inside the maintenance hangar, invisible to nearly everyone. Until General Hale stopped walking. The aging general slowly approached her workbench without speaking. His weathered eyes remained fixed on the small silver badge. Around them, senior officers exchanged confused glances. Most had never even seen such an insignia before. General Hale finally picked up the Barrett resting on her table. His experienced hands immediately noticed its flawless condition. Not one unnecessary scratch. Every adjustment perfectly calibrated. The rifle felt almost brand new. Only someone who deeply respected both craftsmanship and responsibility could maintain a weapon so carefully. The general quietly asked for her service file. Minutes later, an officer hurried back carrying a thick folder. General Hale began reading. His expression slowly changed. He discovered her remarkable training scores. He found the extraordinary 3,200-meter qualification. Then he reached the classified report describing the village mission. Silence filled the room again. Most officers expected criticism. Instead, the general slowly closed the folder. His voice carried across the hangar. He explained that many people confused courage with pulling a trigger. True courage, he said, sometimes meant refusing to fire until innocent lives were safe. Every soldier stood motionless. General Hale revealed something few people knew. Decades earlier, during his own combat service, one mistaken shot had cost innocent lives. The memory haunted him throughout his career. Since that day, he measured greatness not by confirmed targets but by lives protected. Looking toward Mara, he recognized something rare. Not merely exceptional skill, character, compassion, discipline. The qualities impossible to manufacture through training alone. News of the encounter spread rapidly across the base. Soldiers who had barely noticed Mara before now greeted her respectfully. Young recruits began requesting advice. She never bragged about records. Instead, she taught breathing techniques, patience, and emotional control. She reminded nervous trainees that the goal of military service was never destruction. It was protection. Weeks later, General Hale personally established a new advanced precision mentorship program. To everyone's surprise, he selected Mara as its lead instructor despite her junior rank. Some senior officers privately questioned the decision. The general simply replied that rank measured responsibility, but wisdom measured leadership. Under Mara's guidance, the program became unlike any other. Students spent mornings mastering mathematics, weather, and equipment. Afternoons were devoted to ethics, decision-making, and protecting civilians. She insisted every future sniper understand that every bullet carried permanent consequences. Graduates of her program developed an extraordinary reputation. Their shooting skills impressed everyone. Their judgment impressed even more. Years passed. The little silver 3,200-meter badge remained pinned above Mara's heart. Visitors often assumed it represented impossible marksmanship. Only those who truly knew her story understood its deeper meaning. The badge wasn't a reminder of the longest shot. It reminded her of every choice that came before pulling the trigger. One warm afternoon, General Hale retired after nearly 4 decades of military service. Before leaving, he visited the training range one final time. He watched dozens of young soldiers practicing under Mara's instruction. They laughed together. They encouraged one another. They corrected mistakes with patience instead of ridicule. The atmosphere reflected everything the military should become. The old general quietly smiled. His greatest legacy would not be medals hanging on a wall. It would be leaders like Mara, who proved strength and kindness could exist in the very same heart. As the sun slowly lowered across the training fields, its golden light reflected from hundreds of polished rifle scopes lined across the range. For a brief moment, each shining lens looked like a promise. A promise that skill without compassion was incomplete. A promise that true heroes often worked quietly where almost nobody noticed them. And a promise that sometimes the smallest silver badge could reveal the biggest heart. If this story has touched your heart so far, please like the video, share it with your family and friends, leave a heartfelt comment, and subscribe to Journey of Kindness. Your support allows these meaningful stories to reach people who may need hope today. Glowing star special request. Before this story ends, please comment below. Kindness is the greatest strength. We'd love to know where you're watching from, too. General Hale never remembered Mara Ellison because she held a world-class sniper record. He remembered her because she understood something many never learn. The greatest victory is not measured by impossible shots or medals earned, but by the innocent lives protected, the compassion shown when no one is watching, and the courage to choose humanity even when the world expects something else. Long after records are broken and uniforms are folded away, those choices become the legacy that inspires generations. And somewhere, beneath the warm light of another peaceful day, a quiet young instructor continued teaching that every great soldier must first become a great human being.